to High Performance Live with me, Kayode Kolade. It's great to be here. This is High Performance Live, where we talk about the tools, strategies, tips, and tricks to help you be that high performer that God has created you to be. And it's another live session. It's another Friday, another live session, 6:30 p.m. West African time, every Friday like this. I always come on live on this platform right here on YouTube, and I'm happy to be here again. How are you doing? Just want to say a very big welcome and thank you for joining. It's great to have you here. How are you, my dear high performer? How are you doing? How was your week? I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope your week was productive, profitable, purposeful, all the things that you desire this week. I hope it went well for you. And I just want to say a very, very big well done to you. From Monday right until the very end of this week that we are here right now. Just want to say a very, very big well done and welcome to High Performance Live. Specifically, I believe that today is the 24th. Okay, yes, 30 days in November. So this is the final Friday in the month of November. Congratulations. Well done for making it to the very last Friday in the month of November. By the next time we are going to be seeing on a live session like this is going to be the 1st of December, the first day of the last month of this year 2023. I'm sure you are excited as I am. Just want to say very big congratulations to you. Happy new month in advance. Well done for seeing it through the entire month of November, even as we go into December and we start counting down to the end of the year as we go into the year 2024. Just want to say very big well done to you. You know how we do it every time we come on High Performance Live like this, right? We always do our high performance review for the week, which is simply three things: what we are grateful for this week, the lesson that we are learning this week, and what we are looking forward to in the upcoming week. I'll say that again. What we are grateful for this week, the lesson that we are learning this week, and what we are looking forward to in the upcoming week. So I will start by sharing I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you last Friday in the month of November, the 11th month of this year, 2023, as we're about to go into the year, December, month of December, counting down to the end of the year. I'm always grateful for the opportunity to be here. I think I need to actually take time to actually count how many live sessions we've had so far. I haven't been counting, honestly, but it's been great that we started these live sessions right here on YouTube a little while back, some months ago, and we are here every Friday. We are always here. Initially, it was Thursdays. Now we made it Fridays. Every Friday, we are here talking about high performance, talking about all these things, the tools, the strategies, the tips, everything to make sure that we go out there to be everything that God has created us to be. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for me. So grateful for this community that we have. The lesson that I'm learning this week, awesome, Rahila, absolutely. Thank God for the opportunity to see the very last Friday in the month of November. Yes, we're so grateful. And thank you so much, Rahila, for sharing that, and welcome. So that's yours, Rahila. Thank you for sharing that. The lesson I'm learning this week, and I would like you to share your own lesson that you are learning this week, Rahila. My own lesson I'm learning is breaking free from poverty. Breaking free from poverty, the lies people believe about money. And that's what I'm going to be getting into a couple of minutes that we're going to be talking about. And I know you are going to find that very, very insightful. So I know you want to stick around and listen to that. And the project I'm looking forward to in the upcoming week is the Expert Empire webinar. Just like I've been sharing for a while on our live sessions, I've been encouraging you and charging you that let us take our relationship to the next level. It's one thing for us to come like this on live sessions like this, to watch videos, the videos that I put out there every week, the daily shots that I put out there. But every time I'm always saying that how can we make this experience deeper? How can we make this our experience together richer? And that's why I'm inviting you, to take it to the next level. Don't just let it be, the content provider, content consumer relationship. I'm inviting you for us to come together and collaborate. Be my students. Take one of my programs. Take one of my courses. If you haven't, you need to do that, because that's just what it is. It's all about, when we come together and we do a deep dive, a focused learning, it takes it to a whole new level. And so that's my own charge and my own encouragement to you. Are you one of my students? If you aren't, you need to be one of my students. You need to take one of my programs. And there's an opportunity for you to do that in the Experts Empire webinar. You are a coach, you are a consultant, you are a content creator, you are an expert, you are a thought leader. You have your wisdom that you want to share with the world. You want to be recognized for your wisdom. You want to be recognized for your know-how, for your expertise. This is your opportunity with the Experts Empire webinar, where I'll be showing you simple tools and strategies to help you be recognized for what you know, to help you transform your expertise into a thriving business. It's very, very important, because all that I'm all about is that how do you take it to the next level? You have this wisdom, you have this knowledge, you've been putting it out there with the world, you've been inspiring people, you've been impacting lives. The next level is you to take that thing up and take it and make it into a business. That's if you haven't, and you need to do that. And that's why I'm opening up the Expert Empire webinar, this opportunity, bringing you this opportunity to be part of it. It's happening next week, Sunday, the 3rd. Yes, no, that's Upper Week Sunday, the 3rd of December. I will be including the link to the details in the description of this live session once I'm done, so that you can check it out. You can also check me out on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. Is the same handle, the same name. And just check it out there, get the link, get the details for that program, and sign up for it. So that's it from me. My 3 things that my own high performance review for the week, what I'm grateful for, the lesson that I'm learning, and what I'm looking forward to in the upcoming week. Make sure you share yours in the comment section. I really want to hear from you. So just like I said, let's get right into it. I said we're going to be talking about breaking free from poverty. Breaking free from poverty. That's the lesson that I'm learning this week. The lies people believe about money. I'd watched the movie before, but I saw it again recently. And the name of this movie is the Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter. Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter. Very beautiful movie. Old movie, I think came out sometime early 2000. I can't remember the exact date now. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you go see it. It's a fictional take on the life of Abraham Lincoln as someone who is hunting vampires. I love it. It's just simple storyline. I believe it's one of those very underrated movies out there. Just clean, cool, nice, fun action. You're just looking for some action to relax with this weekend. I highly recommend, if you are looking for just a movie to just help you relax this weekend, it's a movie that I know that you will enjoy. The reason why I'm bringing up that movie is because there's a scene. Don't worry, I'm not giving you any spoilers in case you haven't seen it. There's a scene where if the young Lincoln is being trained by a mentor on how to kill vampires. And so his first assignment is to cut down this very mighty tree, this huge tree. And what's very interesting is that his mentor gives him an axe. But what's interesting about the instruction is that he has to bring down that tree with one hit, as a one powerful hit, to bring down that tree. And he looks at the size of the tree. It's this mammoth tree. And he's like, it's impossible. How can I bring down this tree with just one hit of the axe? And what his mentor says to him is that, okay, what do you hate most in the world? And he thinks back to the fact that he lost his mom. Somebody killed his mom. And he says, okay, fine. The person that killed your mom, that's him right there. I'm asking you to cut him down. And he's hitting the tree with all the hate and all the energy. But as he's doing that, okay, awesome, Rayla. I'm learning to be grateful always and trust that God's got me. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Raila, for sharing that. It's powerful indeed. Aren't we all? That's all of us who are in that space. Trust me. Just learning to always be grateful and to trust that God has got us. Thank you so much, Raila, for sharing that. And so for me, that's just what's so powerful, coming back to Abraham Lincoln story. And so it's like, okay, the person you hate most in the world, that's him, cut him down. So as he's doing that, hitting the tree with all the anger and the hate in him, the mentor is posing various questions to him as he's doing that. And he says, oh, you really hate this guy, right? He says, yes. He made you feel hot, right? By taking your mom. He says, yes. He did this to you. He says, yes. He says, oh, why do you really hate him? Why are you upset? And, it's interesting that with every step of the question and the answer that the young Lincoln provides, every step of the way, they are getting deeper and deeper, to the heart of the issue, until, the final question that finally brings the tree down the tree with that one hit. He discovers that what really makes him upset and what really made him sad is not the fact that this person actually killed his mom. Is because he felt weak. He felt incapable of protecting his mom. And for me, what was so powerful is that immediately after the young Lincoln brings down the tree, the mentor walks up to him and gives him the true lesson of that exercise. And he says to him that one thing that you need to always remember is that power doesn't come from hate. Power comes from truth. And, for me, I found that so powerful, that power doesn't come from hate. Power comes from truth. And I'm just like, I'm in that space right now where every day I'm just learning and relearning the power of this concept called truth. And you are coming back to that place where you and I know this thing, and that is this saying that the truth is what sets you free. The truth is what will set you and me free. And that's just what it is about, that whatever area of our lives right now, be it in our finances, be it in our health, be it in our businesses, be it in our career, be it in our relationships, it's the truth. Yes, thank you so much, Raila, for sharing that. It's the truth that sets free. Please stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Now, for me, it's about, flipping that thing to see what is really the meat of that statement. And for me, it's realizing that, okay, if it's the truth that sets a person free, then the reason why we feel like we are struggling in that particular area of our lives is because we believed a lie. And for me, that is so very interesting and so pivotal for us to note, that the reason why, if it's the truth that sets free, then the reason why we feel caged, the reason why we feel stuck, is not necessarily because of that thing, is because we believed a lie about that thing. And even if you don't get anything on from this live session, my own encouragement to you is that you and I as high performers need to always remember this. When it comes to the issue of finances, when it comes to the issue of money, the challenge, the problem that we have is not the money. You don't have a money problem. The problem that you have is that you believed a lie about money. And that's just what it is. That at the end of the day, it's coming back to that place to say, what are the lies that we have believed about money? And until we can identify those lies, we cannot make the progress that we really want to make. Because what happens is that, just like a chameleon that ends up being camouflaged and blending into the environment, many of these lies that are programming our lives in whatever area, be it in our finances, be it in our business, whatever area that is, even though today we're specifically talking about money, what happens is that many times we are not even conscious that we have fallen for those lies. I'm sure you've had that word hook, line, and sinker. It's interesting that you are talking about deception and you are using the word hook, line, and sinker. Ultimately, what happens is that a lie is what makes us feel stuck. A lie is what makes us feel hooked in a particular place that we can't break through to that next level that we desire to get to. And so for me, that's why it's just so important that as high performance, that if we are going to break through to the next level in our finances, in the area of this thing called money, then awareness is very, very important. Awareness is very, very important, because what happens is that many times we are not even aware. If the diagnosis is wrong, then the prescription will be wrong. If the diagnosis is wrong, the prescription is going to be wrong as well. And so that's why it's very, very important that we are able to diagnose correctly, to be able to say, okay, what are those lies that I've believed about money? And then we can now begin to find a way to correct them. And that's what I'm going to be getting right into this moment. So I make sure that you stick around. Let's get into it. The very first lie that I see that many times we believe about money, and it's this, that money is a mystery. Money is a mystery. We believe that when it comes to this thing called money, there is this big secret around money. There is this hidden agenda about money. But that's just the thing. The first lie about money is that it's a lie to think that money is a mystery. To realize that it's not about the fact that there is a mystery around money, it's about the fact that there are certain lies, there are certain false stories that we have believed about money that is holding us back. And until we can change those false stories before we can move forward. And that's just what it is. Where you are saying to yourself that what are those false stories that you have believed about money thus far? What are those false stories that have kept you safe and kept you the same? Yes, thank you so much, Reda, for sharing that. That money is a mystery. Money is not about the fact that money is a mystery. It's about the fact that there are certain lies, there are certain false stories that we have believed about money. And the truth about it is that until we let go of those false stories, we can't begin to make progress, right? In our finances. And so, that's just the thing. Anytime the person that believes that money is a mystery, what eventually happens is that we pass the buck, we pass the responsibility to every other person apart from us. So we find out that we are blaming the government. We find out that we are blaming the economy. We find out that we are blaming our parents. We blame everything imaginable. We blame the weather. We blame the nation that we were born into. We blame everything. As long as we see money as a mystery, what eventually happens is that we hand over the power to every other thing around us except us. That the power is not with us, but that's the first step. We need to realize that the power is with us. There is the power to get wealth that God has given to you, that God has given to me. And so that's just what it is. My own charge and my own encouragement to you is that instead of playing the blame game, let us play the lie detector game. It's coming back to that place where you turn on your lie detector and to say, what are those lies that I have believed about money? It's so interesting that many of us, we pride ourselves in the fact that you know, all the internet fraudsters or the internet scammers, they can get any other person, but they can't get us, right? We believe we are so sharp, we are so intelligent, we are so street savvy that look, you're wasting your time. You can get any other person, but you can't get me. There is no trick you will bring up in the book that it will make me fall for whatever scheme, and that will let me eventually be defrauded by whatever plan or scheme that you have. But it's interesting that we every single day we are falling for bigger scams, we are falling for bigger lies that are going on in our minds. Scams and lies and false stories that are holding us back from getting to that next level of success. And so that's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Yes, thank you so much, Reda. That is about playing the lie detector game, to come back to that place, to ask ourselves those deliberate questions. Many of the times, these things are false stories that have come about from, the experiences that we have gone through in the past, from the environments we grew up in, from how we were raised, that we have come to believe these certain things about money. But the truth about it is that it's not truth. And as long as it's not truth, it will definitely hold us back. So that's number one, that money is a mystery. The second thing is that money is the paper. The second lie that many people believe about money is that money is the paper. Now, when I say money is the paper, what I'm talking about is cash at hand or cash in the bank. To believe that money is all about that. My own question to you is that how do you define poverty? How do you define poverty? That's what I'm talking about. If your definition of poverty is about money being the paper, the money at hand, or money in the bank, money in your bank account, what your bank account is saying, then you just fell for a lie. You just fell for a lie. Because money is not about that. Money is about value. Money is about value. Yes, thank you so much, Reda, for sharing that. And the place that I'm getting to about this, and this is where I'm going to stop for today. We are going to talk about it more in our next live session. But this is where I'm going to stop in this particular place, which says that how do you define poverty? If we are going to break free from poverty, then we need to be able to define it correctly, to be able to break free from it, to be able to get to that next level in our finances that we need to get to. And so that's what it is, that how do you define poverty? And just like I said, that if you define poverty based on the amount of money that you have in the bank, the amount of money that you have in your account, the amount of cash that is available to you, then you just fell for a lie. So then I'm sure you'll be asking, okay, so Kayode, how should I define poverty? What is the proper way to define poverty? Number one, and I'll just run through this quickly. Number one, poverty is a refusal to learn. Poverty is a refusal to learn. Just like I said, until you define, you cannot find. You cannot find until you define. Until we can define this thing correctly, we can't take the correct steps for us to be able to achieve those goals that we want to achieve in our finances. So the proper way to define poverty is that poverty is a refusal to learn. You have already heard that is that the more you learn, the more you earn. But here's the beautiful thing. You cannot learn that thing that you think you already know. And so that's just the thing that I see, that many top achievers, many people with great potential, many young people that can do so many great things, that are loaded with so many gifts, talents, and skills, are struggling with, because they feel they already know. They feel they already know. There can be no next level of success without a next level of learning. And so that's just why I've come to charge you and encourage you on today's live session, that you need to come back to that place of learning. You need to come back to that place of taking your learning very, very seriously. Because with everything that is going on in our world today, see, just forget it. We can complain from now till tomorrow. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. So it's not about the complaining, it's about coming back to that place of learning. Come back to that place where you take your learning seriously, where you go to the next level in your learning. And just like I said, we are all on this journey together, and I don't want you to miss out of it. That's why I'm sharing these things with you. Because trust me, tomorrow you are going to see the difference. You are going to definitely see the difference. You're going to say that, Kayode, you hid the thing from us. No, I'm not hiding anything from you. I'm sharing the secret with you right now, so that we can all come along with or together on this journey, where we are flying in our private jets and we are talking to each other. The bad thing is that, well, it's not a bad thing. Where, what just came to my mind is that I'm in my own private jet, you are in your own private jet, and then we are both in the air. I wind down my window. That's so ridiculous. I wind down my own window of my private jet, and I say, hey, hi. You wind down yours, and then you say hi. Both of us. I wish it could happen, really. Being able to say hello to each other, in each other's private jets. But that's just what it is. Yeah, thank you so much, brother. That's my brother Solomon. Great to have you here. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. I saw that's just what it is that we are talking about. This is funny, right, Raila? But that's just why I imagine that we are all flying as high performers together on this journey. We are all going to the top together. That's what I imagine. We are all going to the top together. Those dreams in our hearts, they are all coming to reality. None of us is going to be left behind. We are all going to the top together. The top is open and free for all of us. The top is open and free. Absolutely, yes. But we'll talk on our satellite phones or the jets. Absolutely. And so that's just what it is, that we are all going to be flying in the air together. And the beautiful thing is that the air is the sky is so open and free that you don't hear that there's traffic in the air. At least so far, you don't hear anything about traffic being in the air. So why not? It's there. It's there. The opportunities are there for us. The space is open and there for us. And that's why we're talking about these things right now, that, okay, what are those things that, that we can begin to put into place to make that happen? Because it's one thing to dream, but it's another thing to take the step to make it happen. It's another thing to do the things that you need to do to make it happen. And so that's just what it is, that we are coming back to that place that to get to the next level, it's about going to the next level of learning. It's about going to the next level of learning. Look, yes, there's ChatGPT and so many other things that has come to disrupt everything, that has come to disrupt our world. It looks like there's so much chaos and confusion in the world right now. But one thing I will assure you is that complaining is not going to solve it. Worry is not going to solve it. Fear is not going to solve it. With every disruption comes new opportunities, comes new problems. With every disruption that comes to solve one problem ends up creating another problem. So he's coming back to that place of saying, okay, how do I strategically position myself to take advantage of these other opportunities that has come about? And the only way that can happen is by learning. If you increase your wisdom, you increase your wealth. You don't have a money problem, you have a wisdom problem. So he's coming back to that place of saying, how am I increasing my wisdom? How am I increasing my learning? And that's what it's about. Let's move on quickly. The second thing about poverty, I've said poverty is a refusal to learn. Poverty is a refusal to elevate your thinking. Poverty is a refusal to elevate your thinking. We all love the story about the prodigal son, right? It's a beautiful story of redemption, a beautiful story of second chances, a beautiful story of forgiveness, a beautiful story of, I made a mistake, but I still have a brighter future ahead of me. Now, my question to you is, when did the life of the prodigal son change? Most times we tend to believe that the life of the prodigal son changed when his father forgave him, hugged him, kissed him, and gave him the family ring back, which signified access to the wealth of the family and all that. But that's not the place where the life of the prodigal son changed. If you remember that story very well, there was a particular place where it said that things were so hard for the prodigal son that he felt like eating pig's food. And it was at that moment that he caught himself and said, dude, what in the world do you think you are doing? You want to eat pig's food when there is something better and brighter available for you, but here you are, you want to downgrade your thought to eat pig's food. And so that's just what it is, that poverty is a refusal to elevate your thinking. When we go through stuff, when we go through circumstances and challenges, and those circumstances and challenges want to push us down, to downgrade our thinking, that's what poverty is. We need to come back to that place where we know that there's something better, where we say to ourselves that has to be something better. I am more than this. Let me give you a very practical illustration. If you run like I do, maybe you run long distance, you go out maybe from time to time, weekdays or weekends, you just run around. What do you discover if you run? You discover that after a while, you start to begin to get tired, right? Yes, because you are burning energy, you are exerting yourself. But the interesting thing is that when you get tired, somehow, unconsciously, you will just discover that you start looking at the ground. Once you get tired, you know it. If you run, you will start looking at the ground because you are tired. And what is interesting is that the more you look at the ground, the more tired you will feel. One thing that I've discovered as somebody that runs a lot is that just at that moment, if you can catch yourself at that moment when you are looking at the ground, especially when you know you still have some distance to cover, just do this, and which is just to lift your head up from the ground and start looking ahead and upward. Just that simple switch gives your body a new dose of energy until you are able to get to your final destination. And so that's just what it's about. That at the end of the day, it's coming back to that place where, see, we really have to elevate our thinking. Until we change our minds, until we change the things that we are thinking about, we can't actually change our lives, and especially in this area of our finances. Moving on. The third thing, I've said poverty is a refusal to learn. Poverty is a refusal to elevate your thinking. The third thing is poverty is the inability to see beyond now. Poverty is the inability to see beyond now, to see beyond the immediate moment. That's what poverty is. Especially, when we have been, hit and face certain issues, face certain challenges where we have been disappointed in the past. There, before you know it, somehow, we begin to come into that place where we start to feel like things are always going to be like this. It's never going to change. It's always going to be difficult. It's always going to be struggle. It's always going to be a struggle. I'm never ever going to get any good breaks in my finances or in the place of my money. One thing I just want to encourage you is that to everything there is a season. To everything is a season. See, I'm sure you've heard that statement before several times, but you need to break down that statement systematically, patiently, calmly, and coolly. To everything is a season. So including that difficult thing is just a season. It's not permanent. And so that's just my own charge and encouragement to you, that it's only for a season. It's only for a season. Yes, thank you so much, Raela, for sharing that. It's not permanent. It's not permanent. We need to fight that with everything that is within you. I always keep saying this thing on almost every live session, and I would not stop saying that. I will say it right now, that you and I need to always remember that no matter what we may be going through right now, you need to always remember that your tomorrow can be radically different from what it is right now. Tomorrow can be radically different in a pleasant way, can be radically, as in where you are looking at where you are and where you used to be, and there is absolutely no comparison. You need to believe that with every fiber of your being. You need to believe that with every fiber of your being. Moving on. Poverty is to be offended by rich people. Poverty is to be offended by rich people. I'm smiling. I'm smiling while I'm saying that, but that's just the truth. And you know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm saying this is that, just like I say, we are all on this journey together, and I can tell you how many times I have had to catch myself being offended by seeing somebody else that I feel has more means than myself, seeing somebody that has more money than me. I know how many times I've had to catch myself and say to myself, come on, Kayode, what are you doing? Don't be offended. Let go of offense. Let go of judgment. And that's just what it is. That poverty is to be offended by other rich people. Is to be offended by other rich people. We remember the popular story of thank you so much, Raila, for sharing that. Remember the very popular story of Jesus with having I think, was it lunch? Isha had a meal with this person. I think it was Simon the leper, yes, right? And his disciples were there, other people were there. And then what happens is that this woman comes in with with a jar of very expensive perfume and pours it on him. Oh, Raila, you say you can relate. Trust me, we all can. And pours this expensive perfume on Jesus. And you know what is recorded in that story is that the disciples were livid, they were mad. What in the world? How can you take something? You know, it was mentioned that that perfume was worth a year's wages. So just imagine whatever you are earning right now, just imagine what you earn per annum. And I'm sure it must be hefty. Imagine what you earn per annum. Somebody takes it to buy a perfume and empties everything on the head of somebody. So they were upset. They were mad. They were like, why in the world would you do something like this? When this thing could have been sold and then the money could have been given to the poor. You know, when you look at that statement at first glance, you are like, wow, these disciples are so noble. They care so much about the poor. They love the poor so much. They care about them. But you know, it is when you look deeper about that statement, you begin to realize that they didn't care about the poor. They cared that they were poor. They didn't care about the poor. They cared that they were poor. They saw themselves as poor. And so when that woman did that thing, they were upset. They were offended. And so that's just my own charge and my own encouragement. We're talking to all ourselves right now. Just like I said, we're talking to ourselves right now. It's about that next level that is ahead of us. And for that next level to happen, we need to let go of offense. We need to let go of offense, whatever it is, especially because it's easier to get offended, right? Offense is not a new thing. So let's not think that offense or judging people is something new, because that's just what it is. This is over 2,000 years ago. They were offended, they were judging the woman. So it's nothing new. That's already practical. We can see it. But another thing that we can see is that it's almost easier to be more offended these days. It's almost easier to judge. And that's because we have all the platforms. We have the Instagrams, we have the Facebook, we have everything. The internet, the whole world wide web is there for you to see what somebody is doing right in their bedroom. But one thing that we must fight is to fight that tendency to be offended, to fight that tendency to judge other people. Instead, what we should just do is that we should just wish people well. Why did I say wish? Just wish people well. Wish them well in their endeavors. We don't know people's stories. We don't know what they are struggling with. We don't know what they are dealing with. You can be in that place where you are saying, oh, why won't this particular person help me? Why won't this particular person support me? Why won't this particular person buy my product or buy my service? You know, why won't this person hire me when I know that they can? My own charge and my own encouragement to you is that whatever you do, just let go of the offense. Wish people well. Just wish people well. You don't know what they are dealing with. You don't know what they are struggling with. It's very easy to just look at the things that they post on social and just come to a conclusion just because of that picture or that video that they put up. But one thing you need to remember is that behind that picture is a real person. Behind that video that you are seeing, behind that handle, behind that profile is a real person that has real issues, real challenges, real problems, real stuff that they are dealing with. And the best thing that we can do is, not to just be an additional burden to them, not to judge them, not to be offended, just wish them well. And then the final thing about poverty, I've said poverty is a refusal to learn. Poverty is a refusal to elevate your thinking. Poverty is the inability to see beyond now. Poverty is to be offended by rich people. And then finally, poverty is to be offended by God. Poverty is to be offended by God. That's a very, very big one. And for me, what's just so humbling is that of recent, I was reading the story of Jesus, of Judas, betraying Jesus and betraying him for 30 pieces of silver. And for me, what's just so interesting about that story is that, wow, look at what offense can do. Offense made a person look at the creator of the universe, Look at the creator of the whole world. And because of offense, all he could see was 30 pieces of silver. He looked at the person who could give him all the silver in the world, but because of offense, he only saw 30 pieces of silver. That's what offense does. Because it was from that same place where, the rich woman, the wealthy woman with the expensive perfume poured the perfume on Jesus, that all the disciples were upset. It was that particular moment that it was said that Judas made up his mind that this guy, I have to do something about it. And all that he saw was 30 pieces of silver because of offense, because he was offended. And so, that's just what it is, that you are in that place where you are like, God, how come you are helping every other person, but you are not helping me? How come you are coming through for every other person, but you are not coming through for me? How come the people who don't even honor you or even recognize you, how come they don't have it as difficult as I do? One thing I can assure you is that to be thinking like that will only make matters worse. Will only make matters worse. Just whatever you do, don't be offended in God. Don't be offended in God. Just always remember that if you feel that you have lost anything, God is the reason why you haven't lost everything. I'll say that again. If you feel you have lost anything, God is the reason why you haven't lost everything. So you don't want to be offended in the person who can actually give you that breakthrough that you desire, and who will definitely give you that breakthrough that you desire. He hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't abandoned you, no matter what you might be going through right now. I want to assure you that he hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't abandoned you. He is right there with you. The only thing that he's asking you to do is just to trust him, to just trust him. But you can't trust him if you are offended in him. And so just let go of the offense. How do you do that? Just come back to the place of gratitude. Come back to the place of gratitude. Just like I said, if you have lost anything, God is the reason why you haven't lost everything. And that thing that you have, I love the way that my brother Joseph Atta, I love him so much. I was talking with him earlier in the week, and we were talking over the phone, and I was taking so much notes because of the powerful insights he was sharing. And I'll never forget something that he said. He said, to be patient is to enjoy one thing while you are waiting for the other thing. I'd never heard that before. He said to be patient is to enjoy one thing while you are waiting for the other thing. I found that so powerful. And so that's just it, that you are waiting for something, but there is something that you have right now that you can still enjoy. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for that. Come back to that place of gratitude. Even as we round up, I'm done. Just like I said, I was only going to share 2 lies about money and then break it down like I did. As we end today's session, there's one thing I just want to remind you is that whatever it is that is happening around you right now, just remember that you are worth it. Whatever is that financial goal, whatever is that dream that you have, just remember that you are worth it. What a lie seeks to do is, I'm sure you've heard that popular saying. For a very long time, I didn't get it. When people will say somebody that lies will most likely steal. I didn't understand it. I'm like, well, there are some people that lie now, but that's the only thing they do. They just lie. They don't steal. Number one, me. As growing up, that's just the thing that when you've done something wrong and you are confronted, you are going to be punished, but you just have to lie. You just have to lie just to save yourself from that punishment. And then sometimes you are caught and you are dealt with mercilessly. And your parent or whosoever is the person that is disciplining you or correcting you, Yes, thank you so much, Rayla, for sharing that. It will say that don't lie, don't lie. The person who lies will also most likely steal. He's going to spiral into these other events. I know for a very long time I didn't understand. I said, somebody can just only lie, and that's the only thing he does, and he doesn't steal. Please, not to make light of lying or stealing. Please, that's not what it's about. I'm about to make the point so that you understand where I'm going. And but I now began to understand what they were talking about, because you realize that what a lie is that a lie is actually a thief. A lie is a thief of truth. That's what a lie is. And so now I really can understand why they will say the person that lies will also most likely steal, because lying is actually stealing. Lying is actually robbery. Lying is the robbery of truth. A lie seeks to rob you of something, and that's to rob you of truth. And that's why, we talking about these things, lies people believe about money, is so important, because what these lies about money seek to do is to rob us of the truth, and to rob us of the truth, of this very important truth, and that's the fact that you and I were worth it. That dream, that desire that you have deep down in your heart for your finances, for your money, you are worth it. You are absolutely worth it. And that's just what I want to remind you of today, that you are worth it, no matter what it is, no matter what the challenge that you might be going through right now. I know you are saying to me, Kayode, you have no idea what I'm dealing with right now. You have no idea the pressure that I'm dealing with right now. Yes, I know that no matter how I try to imagine, I probably will never be able to imagine it. But one thing that I want to remind you is that stay strong. Stay strong. Yes, absolutely, Arela. You are very worth it. Stay strong. Just remember that money is not a mystery. Money is not a mystery. It's only about the four stories that we have told ourselves that have kept us in the same spot. Just come back to that place of learning. Take your learning again seriously. Elevate your thinking. Remember that tomorrow is a better day. Tomorrow is a better opportunity. It's a brighter day. Wish people well and come back to that place of gratitude. That's my own charge and my own encouragement to you. That these are some of the very important steps that you and I need to start taking, even as we seek to achieve those goals that we have set for ourselves financially. And I just can't, just like I always say on every live session, I can't wait to celebrate with you. You are worth it. You are worth that goal. You are worth that desire. Keep doing what you are doing. Keep pushing on. Keep moving on. Don't give up. And I see you achieving that financial goal that you desire to achieve. So that's it. Um, that's always great, awesome stuff. Thank you, Reda, for highlighting all the points and sharing them with us today. I know that you found that very insightful. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a great time, and I know that you had a great time as well. Wishing you all the success that you deserve and that you desire in your finances and every aspect of your life. Even as we go into the weekend, I wish you a very, very blessed and powerful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy, have a great time. Oh, thank you so much, Rayla. I'm glad you had a great time too. Look forward to all the new content coming out, even as we start the new week. My newsletter, Dear High Performer, coming out on Sunday. A new long form video also coming out on Sunday or tomorrow. I might put it out early, just because I love you guys. I'll put it out early tomorrow, so look out for that powerful video that will be coming out tomorrow. Just a sneak peek is about passing the consistency test, so you definitely want to watch that powerful stuff. Look out for all the other contents that will be coming out throughout the week. Great and powerful content, just helping us on our journey to becoming those high performers that God has created us to be. So you have any questions, feel free, reach out to me. You can send me your questions on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. Send me a DM, whatever projects that you are working on, reach out to me, talk to me. You remember, I'm your coach. I'm here for you every step of the way, cheering you on until you achieve each and every one of those goals that you want to achieve. So let's talk. let's relate, let's take it to a deeper level. Wishing you all the very best. Talk to you very soon. Your greatness is very sure.